Hey, what's going on, everybody on YouTube? Steve here, Raiken Profit. I am with Paul Lipsky, and Paul is an eBay dropshipper. He's done about $1.3 million in the last 18 months dropshipping on eBay, which is pretty freaking cool. And today I want to bring him on video and talk about 7 mistakes to avoid when dropshipping on eBay. So if you're getting started dropshipping and you don't know where to start, or maybe you're really scared to get started because there's like so many mistakes you could make, which I totally understand, we're gonna break down like the 7 big mistakes that maybe these are mistakes that you've made. I'm sure you've made all these mistakes before. And he's also a coach. He's got about 700 students, which he's helping to build drop shipping businesses on eBay. So he sees a lot of mistakes that they all make. So why don't you introduce yourself really quick, and then we'll just dive right in.
Steve, I think you did a great introduction. I do have a YouTube channel. It's just my name, Paul J. Lipsky. So if you guys want to check that out, I have lots of tips on there. But Steve and I are also doing a bunch of videos here on his channel as well. So you'll see me around if you're subscribed to his channel. Awesome,
cool. Yeah, so check the links down below. You can subscribe to his channel. Also, we have a free workshop. We've done a whole bunch of videos together. So if you want to learn about his whole journey of how he went to 1.3 million, the mistakes to avoid, which we're talking about, how to get started, so on and so forth, get on the email list. It's one of the first links down below. But let's jump right into it. So one of the big mistakes that you had talked about that a lot of your students make when they're just getting started, before they go through the course and everything, is listing wrong items. What exactly do you mean by that?
So I think there's a misconception that you can just list anything on eBay and it's gonna sell. I think like a long time ago that was true. It's just not true anymore. I mean, people come to eBay and they're looking for certain items, or some items are going to be less competitive than others. So you got to know how to find those items. You got to find the ones that are already selling well. Those are the ones you want to sell. You don't want to waste your time listing items that are never going to sell.
Yeah, because when I was watching a bunch of videos before I met you, there's a lot of people who just say list everything. And the problem with that is it's gonna cause you to have to spend a lot of money with the listing fees and then the insertion fees, right?
Right. So eBay has like an insertion fee. It varies depending on how big your store is, but anywhere from 10 cents to 30 cents, that can add up pretty quickly if you're not careful. So I'm a big advocate of keeping the number of listings low, and it's also going to increase your sell-through rate, which eBay really likes.
So be sure to spend adequate amount of times with product research before you go out and list the item, because you know there's tools like DSM tool that allow you to automate this really quickly, but it may not be the smartest move long term, you're saying. So be sure to be very careful with listing the right or the wrong items. Number 2, and this is a mistake that I'm sure you wish you would have done it sooner, but you could touch on it: not hiring help.
Yeah, this is something I love talking about because in the beginning I really thought I could run my eBay store all by myself, and for a while I did.
We all want to think that.
Yeah, and for a while you can, and you really should kind of in the beginning, so you have an idea of how everything works. But after a point, you only have so many hours in a week. You can only work like, what, 80 hours in a week before you crash. So if you hire help, and I'm talking about like virtual assistants from the Philippines who are gonna pay like $2 an hour to help you run your store. These people are smart. They've already done this before on other people's eBay accounts, so they know how to do it. You hire these people, you've just doubled the amount of hours that you can work in a week. Every time I've hired virtual assistants, my sales have increased.
And you can easily hire virtual assistants. Well, I like to hire a lot from the Philippines.
Yeah.
For $2 to $4 an hour for some of these basic tasks. And you were saying, we're in Austin, Texas. He just gave a speech yesterday, and he was saying in his speech that a lot of these virtual assistants are accustomed to using these softwares and already doing most of these tasks.
Yeah.
So it's not very foreign to them.
No, you don't have to waste time training them for the most part. Just go in there and tell them how exactly you want to do it, but they already know how to use the softwares and the basics of how eBay dropshipping works.
Awesome, cool. Number 3, third big mistake that you want to avoid when dropshipping on eBay is not setting up your store correctly, and that's a big one. Why don't you touch on that a little bit, Paul?
Yeah, so this was a mistake I made in the beginning. I just figured I would make everything as optimized as possible, the way that eBay wants you to do it. So it has short handling time, short shipping time, without realizing that when you order something from another website,
out of your control,
outside of your control, how fast they ship it. So the items weren't shipping out on time. Kind of got dinged for that in the beginning. Learned my lesson. It's so easy to avoid. You just got to set up your business policies in eBay correctly, and you're fine.
What do you like to offer for your like handling and shipping time?
Handling time is 2 to 3 days, and then shipping times 3 to 5 days. You want to make sure you do economy That way you're not tied down to just UPS or FedEx because you don't know how they're going to ship it out.
Got it. Mistake number 4 to avoid when drop shipping on eBay, and this is a big one regardless if you're selling on eBay as a thrifter, doing garage sales, or if you're drop shipping or Amazon FBA, or even a brick and mortar business. One of the big mistakes that I noticed that people make, and I've made this for years, I was making this, was I didn't have systems in line. Why don't you explain exactly what is a system?
Yeah, so every time that you go in and fulfill an order or list an item, you don't want to be starting from scratch. You want to find what's working. You list an item, write down all the steps that you did to do it, and so that the next time you do it, you don't have to start over and like, well, how did I do that? This is key for 2 reasons. One, when you're doing it on your own, you're not gonna waste time every time. And second, when you do hire the virtual assistants, you could just send them the order of things that you do. That way they have an exact system of how you want it done. And you might wanna do that early on so that you don't forget to do it later. And when you do hire the virtual assistants, you have to go back and write everything down. Do it early, trust me.
Yeah, and I recommend using, I love Google Drive. So you can start up a Google Drive and you can create folders for the various tasks or for the various roles of your business, and just create a Google Doc inside of it and just write it all out. It's saved in the cloud forever, so you don't have to worry about like your computer breaking down or losing like a Word document, and it's there, it's good to go forever, and you can continue improving upon it. Number 5, 5th mistake to avoid when drop shipping on eBay, and this is big, this is for eBay in general, not listing consistently. You know, eBay, I found that the more you list, the more the algorithm will reward you. Have you found that the more you list, the more you make?
Absolutely. eBay likes when you pay attention to it. So you got to list it doesn't have to be every day.
It's like a relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't just like walk away and expect him to still be there for you.
Exactly, that's a good way of looking at it. You don't have to list every day, but consistently, a couple times a week at least. Make sure you're going in at least every day to do something, whether that's looking at your orders, fulfilling the orders, uploading tracking numbers, or just going in to make sure your metrics are okay. Yeah. Something every day.
Really, really big one right there. You know, Paul and I were talking behind the scenes, and we were really brainstorming this, like this video and like the big mistakes. And one thing that we both realized, when you look at someone who's successful and somebody who just fell a little short, the big thing is the successful person pushes aside all of those what ifs.
Yeah.
Talk to the people watching about, you know, the what ifs and what this is and why you need to get past that.
So I think this applies probably for any business. There's so many excuses you can give yourself for not getting started. You can say, well, what if a customer doesn't like that it's coming from another website? What if it comes in a box that says Walmart on it? What if, what if, what if? And because of all those what ifs, you don't get started. And I've always found that my biggest fear is the fear of the unknown.
Me too.
So the best thing to do is just get started, and you'll see you're gonna get into those situations, and then you're gonna quickly resolve it. And you're gonna realize it's not that bad. And then you can move on to the next what if, and then you realize that one's not so bad either. Let
me ask you guys a question. Have you ever, you know, driven at nighttime and you can only see 30, 40 feet ahead of you because of the headlights can only see ahead of you? What do you just stop driving? Because what if a car on the other side of the road crosses the line? What if a deer runs across the road? What if, you know, you didn't get an oil change and the engine breaks down? Like, what if, like, no, but you still go. And it's the same thing in entrepreneurship. Like, there's a million what ifs, but that's life in general.
Right.
But the successful people, they get past it.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean?
You don't want to live fear-based like that.
Turn your headlights on. So number 7, the last one, is not optimizing keywords. Keywords are very important. You know, using softwares like DSM Tool, you can easily import listings from various websites, Walmart, Home Depot, into your eBay like that. But you wanna optimize your listings for keywords. Why is that important?
It's the only thing that's gonna connect your customer to you. So if you might have the best product in the world that a customer wants. Let's say it's a hammer, but if you write in your description, tires, they're never gonna find that hammer. You gotta have the keywords that the customers are looking for, and that's how you connect customer to your sale.
Awesome. So the big 7 mistakes you want to avoid, just to recap, is making sure that you're listing the right items that have a market. Big mistake number 2, not hiring help, because really you only have a certain amount of time during the day. Mistake number 3, not setting up your store correctly. Make sure that you don't have like 1 day shipping and handling time. Number 4, make sure that you have systems in your business. Don't just, you know, just freestyle everything, because once you start scaling, it's gonna take a hold of you. Not listing consistently, number 5. Number 6, procrastinating, always what if this, what if that. You gotta get past those limiting beliefs. Number 7, not optimizing keywords. So if you guys enjoyed this video, do us a big favor and smash that like button. Be sure to go over to his YouTube channel, which is
Paul J. Lipsky.
Link will be in the description. Join the email list. We got a bunch of free videos, a workshop. If you want to learn about his Paul's course, which is called
the Dropshipping Titans course.
And there's, how many videos are in that course?
There's over 75, and I'm
75.
adding more as things change on eBay. I'm keeping up with it for you guys.
So I would recommend getting on the email list first, because then you'll be able to go through all the videos, learn more about it. Plus, if you do get his course, I'm an affiliate for it. I'm throwing in a bunch of free bonuses and stuff too, so check that out. But I would go through the free stuff first, because I want to make sure that, and I've been telling people this, like, don't just join a program if you're not serious. It's gonna take hard work.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I don't want to see, like, I sell programs myself too, and like, so many people, they'll just join and they're not committed to actually go through it. Like, make sure you're serious, because it takes hard work, but the rewards are quite abundant.
Yeah.
If you're willing to put into work. So anyways, that's for another video, but we appreciate you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Peace.